Good morning, everyone. Hope we're keeping well. Hopefully the long weekend has allowed you a bit of a break from all of the work and you're kind of ready to get going again. So hopefully as well, if you're on, you've seen the post put onto the classroom this morning. A little bit of a blow for us that we're looking forward maybe to getting back into the school before summer, but as I said, I'll be working with Miss Martin on it and we'll see what we can kind of come up with. So as I say, when we have an idea, we'll share it with you. But as is, we just need to keep worrying about ourselves, keep working hard. And as I say, put a bit of trust, hopefully we'll make something. All right. Good man, Peter. Nice to have you back. Seen you in the Google Classroom earlier, so nice to see you're in with us. Always good. Clear play too. Perfect. So we see you in with Maria and Jay are in nice and early as well. Both of you have been doing fantastic with the work as well, from what I can see. So nice to have everyone in the one place. We short week, only 3 days to do, so we'll do the 3 days and we'll take it from there, okay? So anyway, today, guys, we're doing capacity. Before we get started, we'll get ourselves warmed up. So if you have your whiteboards nice and ready, put 0 top left. 0 top left with 10 seconds on the clock. Today, we're going to play in 4s, okay? So your 4 times tables, 0 top left. Ready, set, go. Stop. Double check our numbers. We should have had 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, and 48. So hopefully we're getting up there. As I say, always try and aim for at least the 10 times the amount. So 40 is at least the target that we really want to get to. You have 10 seconds now. Time to try and beat your score. You ready? 0 top left. Cleaning the whiteboards. 0 top left. Ready, set, go. Stop. Double check our numbers. Should have had 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, and 48. Really well done, guys. You managed to beat your score. Ready? Let's turn it around now. Let's go. How low can you go? So this time put 48 top left. We get to 48 top left. You have 10 seconds to get as low as possible. Really try to get to 0 and in the negative numbers. You ready? Set, go. Stop. Double check our numbers. Should have had 48, 44, 40, 36, 32, 28, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8, 4, 0. Alrighty. Let's go 10 seconds back in the clock. Rub out our numbers. Put 48 top left. We'll see, can you beat your score? You ready? Set, go. And stop. Double check. Should have got 48, 44, 40, 36, 32, 28, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8, 4, and 0. Okay. So that's our 4 times tables, guys. Next up, as I say, I'm never too sure how well it works with the slight delay in signs, but we'll try to do our learn it's anyway while we're here. Okay. So we'll try our learn it's while we're here. Hopefully it works okay. You ready? So you can either try to do it in your whiteboards, or if you really want to, you can try type it really fast as well. Either or, just get our brains working on them numbers. You ready? Here we go. We'll do this for a couple of seconds. Just ready. 8 plus 4 is 12. 8 plus 5 is 13. 7 times 7 is 49. 4 plus 2 is 6. 5 plus 2, 7. 5 plus 3, 8. 8 squared, 64. 5 squared, 25. 4 squared, 16. 2 squared is 4. And relax. Okay, good. Loads of chats coming up, and I'll say you can do it in the chat, do it in the whiteboard, either or. Just so long as we get our brain working up. Okay, next up, where is my whiteboard pen? Cha-cha. Ready. So let's have a look. Now that we're nice and warmed up, today we're going to do a bit of the. We go this way. Yeah, well, go this way. See what happens. We are very artistic for a thing in the morning. Okay. Here's our number generator. We have a number up. We're going to throw the number into the generator. From here, didn't do that one very well, did I? You're going to multiply and divide by 10. And I say we're just going to use this one to get ourselves warmed up. So number goes in, multiply it by 10, divide it by 10. So for example, if I threw 2 in, 2 goes in, 20 comes out, and 0.2 comes out on the dividing side. Okay, so the one going to the left, which is back the way, use it as your dividing because it's getting smaller. And the one going to the right, which is sort of more forward, we'll use that one to be your multiply. And we're just going to use 10 to get ourselves started, and we're going to work ourselves up quite quickly. Okay, ready? Let's try it. Number 40. 40 goes in, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and I see. So if 40 goes in, 40 multiplied by 10 is 400. 40 divided by 10 is 4. There were your two answers. Ready? Let's go again. This time your number 700. 700. 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. All right. For 700, 700 goes in, gets multiplied by 10. It's going to become 7,000. 700 goes in, gets divided by 10. It's going to become 70. All right. Nice and easy. Good. One more, and then I'm jumping up in difficulty. So one more, and then we'll change it, make it much more difficult. Ready? Number going in is 1.5. 1.5 goes into the generator, multiply it by 10, divide it by 10. 1.5. Yeah, 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. And time's up. Okay, 1.5 goes in, it gets multiplied by 10, it's going to become 15. Hopefully that looks okay for drawing upside down, so it's going to become 15. And when it gets divided by 10, it's going to become 0.15. Okay, so divide it by 10, it's going to become 0.15. All right, ready? Keep the exact same idea, but this time rather than multiply and divide by 10, we're going to jump ourselves up. Well and truly up, and it's going to be 1,000. So we're going to multiply and divide by 1,000. Ready? Keep it nice and easy to start with. 40 goes in. So 40 goes into the generator, take 40, multiply it by 1,000. Thank you, Ashton. I've been practicing a lot on my upside down writing. Skill of the future is that. Ready, time's up. So 40 goes in, multiply 40 by 1,000. We should have had 40,000. I've noticed I'm writing on the arrow and not the space, but anyway. 40 goes in, divide it by 1,000. You should get 4 becomes 0.04. All right. 0.04 for dividing it by 1,000. All right. You can always do you can always do that idea to help you. Okay. Always use your place value if you really need. Remember, if it's divided by 1,000, it's going 3 places. So take your 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in there. Okay. 0 point, and then the decimal is always in between there. So 0.04. So use your place value if you need it. All right, because it's going to become quite important to us in a second or two. Ready? Let's try 2 more of these, just so our brain's getting good at multiplying and dividing by 1,000. Ready? Next up, let's throw in the number 500. 500. 10 seconds. 500 goes into the generator. See what you can do. Multiply it by 1,000. Divide it by 1,000. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, 500 goes in. When you multiply it by 1,000, it's going to be 500,000. If we divide it by 1,000, take my 5, move it back 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to become a tenth. 0.5. All right. Really well done, guys. If you got that. Last one. The last one. Clean your boards if you need them. Number going into the generator is, let's try and make it difficult, shall we? 72, can't try that, 73.5. 73.5. So throw 73.5 into the generator, multiply it by 1,000, and then divide it by 1,000. And 3 seconds left. Okay, stops there. So when we multiply it by 1,000, 73 is going to become 73,000. And that 5 then must be 500. So 73,500. When we divide it by 1,000, let's just take our 7 and we move it back 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So 7 is going to have to be on the 10th. And then all the rest will just go in behind it. So answer 0.0735. Alrighty. Really well done if you got all of them. Now, let's go. Capacity. So capacity, we're talking milliliters and liters are the two measurements that we're looking at. Now, capacity is how much something holds. So often comes to liquids, but can be other stuff. Okay, but generally capacity, what we're talking about is how much. It's a measurement of how much sort of an object can hold. And most commonly, you're talking about jugs, kettles, cups, that type of thing. Usually is where this comes in. So anyway, today we're talking about milliliters and liters. The knowledge which you need to make this easier is going to be, I've already sort of mentioned it, is our place value. Thousands, hundreds, tens, units, okay? And that's really all you're going to need to do. So today's work, you're doing questions 2 to 5, but let's just explain a little bit about this till we get started. So 1 milliliter. 1 milliliter, there are 1,000. So milliliters equals liters. So 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. 1 milliliter, however, equals 0.001 liter. Okay, and if you remember that little, it's almost like a formula. It kind of starts to help us go up and down. Okay, so there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter, and 1 milliliter would equal 0.001 of a liter. And thousandths, okay, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So that's how many it takes to make 1 liter. So I'm looking more kind of towards the end, question 5, where you're asked to convert one to the other, and you'll see how it becomes easier. So if I take milliliters to liters, and I've got 3, 4, 5, I have 3,345 milliliters. How many liters does that make? The trick to this one is, if you know its place value and you know that it takes thousands of milliliters to make 1 liter, you look into the thousands category and it'll tell you your answer. So there's 3. So that means you're going to have 3 liters, and then this 3, 4, 5, it's going to become that. So you have 3.345 liters, and that's a very bad L on the end for liters. Okay, so that's why place value, which we done in September, is going to be the cornerstone for today's capacity. And again, if I said you had, well, I'll even make tens of thousands, just to show you. You've got 15,412 milliliters. So if these are milliliters, so 15,412 milliliters in liters, that's going to make, you go above the thousands, and you're going to have the answer 15 liters, or 15.412 liters. 15.412 liters. Alrighty? And then that can work for anything, even if I said I have 4. If I said I had 4 milliliters, well, if you have a look, 4 milliliters, and you picture it, if you're converting 4 milliliters to liters, that's not going to have any liters, and you're going to need to fill it back until you get there. So you're going to have 0.004. All right, and that's kind of one of the easiest ways of doing it. Likewise, if I said if I had 4.5 liters, 4.5 liters, if you know this is your plan, if I have 4.5, well, then I know if I'm converting 4.5 liters into milliliters, it's going to be the thousandths. So the 4 liters is going to be 4 thousandths. That's why I put my 4 straight into the thousands. The 0.5 will fall into hundreds, and then I just follow back to units. So 4.5 liters equals 4,500 milliliters. And this little chart right here is just going to help you convert everything. All right, guys, that's pretty much question 5. All right. Only other ones I want to discuss is where maybe we throw fractions into it. So what's a quarter of a liter? Well, then these you'll know off your heart. If you don't, unfortunately, to get them to know by heart, you have to do a little bit of work. But once you know them, you'll know them. So if you're looking for a quarter of a liter, okay, 1/4 of a liter, essentially what you're saying is 1/4 of 1,000, okay, because there's milliliters. So if you take 1/4 of 1,000, there's my 4, There's my 1000. It's just tying in all the work you've done over the last couple of weeks. 4 into 1 doesn't go, carries over to make 10. 4 into 10 goes twice, 2 carries over. 4 into 20 goes 5 times, 4 into nothing doesn't go. So 1/4 of a litre is 250 millilitres. Once you know that, it never changes, alrighty? So it'll never change. Once you know that, you'll never change and you won't have to go back and work it out. But for today, if you don't know what a fraction of a litre is, just go back and work out fractions of amounts. And the amount isn't 1, make it 1000 millilitres, okay? So that's the fraction side of it done. I don't think there's any other fractions which should throw up too much. Not really. Half litre, 3/4, all that stuff. You could even, if you want, you could have a fifth of a litre. 1/5 of a litre, 1000 divided by 5. The answer is 200. So 1/5 of a litre equals 200 millilitres. The only other one then I want to talk about is that number line stuff. Okay, so we have our jug. I'm not going to draw the jug, but the jug is essentially a number line. Usually it starts at 100. I'll go all the way to 1000. So usually the jug measurement will start at like 100 and work its way up to 1000. And again, all you need to do is have a look and see how many jumps that there are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that kind of worked. Not too bad for once. Okay, so you've got 100 millilitres all the way up to 1000 millilitres. Sometimes that's actually just measured 1 litre. So 100 millilitres all the way up to 1 litre, okay? And as always, if you're looking at it as a measurement, if it's on the line, it's just whatever the jump size is. So 10 jumps, we'll imagine each of these must be 100 millilitres. So 100 millilitres, 200, 300, 400, 500, so on. The only other one then is what happens if the liquid falls halfway between something. You must look closely. If it falls halfway between these, if every jump is 100 and the liquid sits in between it, that must mean it's half of the amount. So generally, half of 100 is 50. So if this was the liquid, that's 100, 200, 300, 350 millilitres. Alrighty, so just make sure. All right, so if it falls in between 2 of the intervals, we know from before that that's going to be half the amount. Alrighty, so half the jump size. And I think other than that for today you're good. Okay. The question 2 is about putting it into context. So like, how big does something have to be? Milliliters, quite small amount. A tablespoon of liquid is about 5 or 10 mils, very small. Okay, so milliliters tends to be quite a small measurement. Liters, think of your liter bottle of Coke or Fanta or Club. The liter bottles is quite a big chunk. Okay, so using that sort of knowledge, you'll know which one you'd want to measure or which one it would be more likely to measure. Okay, so milliliters is quite a small amount, used more for cooking. Liters, much bigger, use it for bigger stuff. All right. So guys, today's work questions 2 to 5. Fly on. Extra work for today. Have a look around the kitchen. See, can you actually find any jugs, any containers with milliliter measurements? And if there are, just try and get used to them. Okay. And I will indeed try put up an answer video as well if possible. All right. So I just need to double check, see if my classroom is being used. If it's free, I'll get an answer video up for you. Okay, so I'll confirm that on Google Classroom. Alrighty. I'd say so to make today's session a bit more realistic, have a look around your kitchen, see what measurements or what jugs you can find and see how they're measured, because they may be different. They may only have 5 intervals, 5 jumps, and that type of thing. But really well done, guys. It's nice to see so many of us on here, and hopefully see you later on. Alrighty, take care, guys.